open this file. Welcome everyone to the Betterment Broadcast. I am your host, Rap Raven. Just going to find my PDF. I believe this is it. This is it. All right. Oh no, wrong. Usual wrong button. Shame on me twice. Give me 17 seconds to just find read mode. Excellent. Now all I need to do is find it on this app. There we go. I think I have. Good stuff. Share. Yeah, so welcome to the 112th show. That's right, 112 attempts at trying to synchronize black people to betterment. So let's start with the starting statements that I recommend for all people if you're trying to promote black betterment. And then is when it comes to working as a collective with only black people on matters that benefit black issues, black progression, black ownership, unfortunately, black people are collectively inadequate. So we have to work on. Individually, you might find one black person who shows some kind of corollary towards black people. However, collectively, black people have no friends. This is a sad truth we have to accept. And constructive black man with constructive black woman makes a constructive black family. That's what it is. These three starting statements will help you out. I know it sounds like shocking at first, but actually, it's there to motivate you, believe it or not. So we're going to find the link today, as we do every day, or every week, I should say. And when we do, let's try to practice the 4D values. So what do I hear you say? Well, they are discipline, dedication, dignity, and discernment. That's right. These are the 4D values. So when you get time, please do that. Did I share this or not? I think I didn't. Let me. I sometimes take so long. Give me 17 seconds to press share. Okay. Press that button. See, I'm in there, but I can't. Is it that one? That one? That one? It's not operating how it normally does. How crazy is that? There you go. Yeah, excellent. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go. So many buttons just to press go. Just work on that UX. All right, done. Yeah, cool. All right, so where are we? Okay, can we not use derogative language? We throw the link out, please. It's in everyone's best interest. We try to be constructive as possible. That's right. So what is Black Betterment? Black Betterment is black people helping black people on black issues for betterment. All right. So we promote the lifestyle of black betterment. That's right. That's what this broadcast is about. Good. I'm going to show some videos, a whole lot of videos today. They're not ours. They're used for case study reasons. So Copyright Act there, Section 107, all that good stuff. Now, if you get time, please follow the Black Betterment Building. Oh, come on. Why is it not selected? Whatever, mate. Press escape. Oh, maybe not. It should be on pen, right? There it is. Don't be on that one. There you go. Yeah, so I'll post this in the link, but please follow this if you can. This is the Instagram page. Done a very poor job, as I said, every week to follow it. I'll take it more serious in the future couple of weeks. All right, so what's today's fantastic topic? Well, every week we focus on a very nice black queen who's done something constructive for the collective, who's gone down history, has done something that's memorable and all this kind of stuff. So this week we focus on Rosa Parks. That's right, Rosa Parks. And then we ask questions, what incentivizes black people to publicly scorn each other? Yes, that's the question we asked. So let us quickly, while I try to sort something out, play a 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 minute video of Rosa Parks. I hope I've uploaded it. I would say I have. Let's guess it's this one. Is this one? I think it is.
Born the eldest of 2 children in 1913,
right.
Rosa Louise McCauley was raised on her grandparents' farm in Pine Level, Alabama. As a child, Rosa was exposed to the realities of segregation.
Yeah.
She walked to school daily because the elementary school bus system prohibited black students from riding. Rosa later attended the Alabama State Teachers College High School. However, due to both her grandmother and mother's illnesses, she was forced to drop out. At 19, Rosa met Raymond Parks, who worked with Montgomery's NAACP chapter. After their marriage in 1932 and much encouragement, she earned her high school diploma. Rosa joined Raymond in the NAACP, serving as the chapter's secretary and youth leader.
History is peculiar. It places gifted and talented women and men in situations where they must make a choice. The choice she made was on the afternoon of the 1st of December, 1955, on a bus as she was going home from her seamstress job in a department store in Montgomery, Alabama.
Rosa, along with 3 other black passengers, were told to give up their seats to a white male passenger. She refused and was arrested. An all-day bus boycott was organized on the day of Rosa's trial, December 5th, 1955, where she was fined $14 and found guilty.
She was a role model for courage in the face of racial injustice. Rosa Parks, through her quiet eloquence, through her commitment both to her faith and to the cause of civil rights and racial equality, was prepared to sacrifice everything, her security, even her life, to fight for what was right, at least her perception of what was justice.
Thousands of people walked, carpooled, and took cabs to work. The boycott lasted 381 days, with the 26-year-old Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. as their leader. Rosa was not the first person to refuse to give up her seat. 2 other women were previously arrested for the same offense. However, it was this quiet 42-year-old who became the face of the Montgomery bus boycott. In 1956, groundbreaking history was made.
The Supreme Court decision by a 9-0 vote supported the civil rights position, calling for an end to racial segregation on municipal buses.
Unable to find work, largely due to her political stance, the Parks moved north to Detroit, Michigan. And by 1965, Rosa began to work for Congressman John Conyers until 1988, when she retired. In memory of her husband and in her vision for a better tomorrow, Rosa co-founded the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development, which educates young people on the civil rights movement, gives freedom bus tours, and provides youth with professional guidance. Rosa also worked giving lectures and advocating for social justice. Rosa Parks passed away on October 24, 2005. She was the first woman and second African American to lie in honor at the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. Rosa received over 24 honorary doctrines and numerous national and international awards, among them the Medal of Freedom from President Clinton and the Congressional Gold Medal of Honor. Rosa was a grassroots activist for social justice and peace, through her efforts in the civil rights movement to her participation in the anti-apartheid movement for South Africa. Although she never planned on getting arrested, her simple action changed the course of a nation.
I think Mrs. Parks unexpectedly had greatness thrust upon her. I think she was born for it. And I do think she achieved it.
All right.
You see what I mean?
I do.
But had she not, of that particular day, said, I'm not moving, my feet hurt, we would have a different nation and a different world.
All right. Very good. Cool. There you go. That's Rosa Parks, everyone. There you go. Let's quickly go back to the All right. As with tradition, we start off with Queen Focus Part 11. Just looked at Rosa Parks. Any questions, feel free to throw them in the question section. Now, we're going to go to a bit more serious work now, serious analyst now. We're going to go to, if you're not unaware, last couple of weeks, there's been a bit of a hoo-ha rumbling over in the States. It started originally with the rapper Kanye West, formerly known as. He made a statement about Jewish people, something like kind of DEFCON 5 or 3 or something like this, on Jewish people, and they weren't displeased, and they boycotted him, and they had a lot of people school him and all this kind of stuff, and he lost a lot of money, and couldn't go to certain buildings, and was escorted out, the whole thing. But as not too long after that, a basketball player called Kyrie Irving, I believe it is Kyrie Irving. Actually, on his Twitter space, Twitter address or whatever, he shared a link to a film. I'm gonna get the film name wrong. They show it in Malou. I think it's from Hebrew to Negroes. It's talking about Hebrew Israelites and this kind of stuff. And Jewish people weren't best pleased about this. So we're gonna just look at some of the things that's circling around that. And the question we ask is, what incentivizes Black people to publicly scorn each other? So obviously, non-Black people weren't best pleased with this video he promoted. but it's more so the black people who jump on the bandwagon to try to scorn him. So let's see if we can find some stuff. Let's see if we can get some story going. Which one's the best one to play? Let me play this one. I think this might be the best one to play first.
I'm in a unique position to have a level of influence on my community, and what I post does not mean that I support everything that's being said or everything that's being done, or I'm campaigning for anything. All I do is post things for my people in my community and those that it's actually going to impact. Anybody else that has criticism, it obviously wasn't meant for them. I am no different than the next human being, so don't treat me any different. You guys come in here and make up this powerful influence I have over top of the adultery of, oh, you cannot post that. Why not?
Why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
That was a few weeks ago. I do not stand with Alex Jones' position, narrative.
All we're seeing here is he's doing some kind of basketball interview thing, and they're asking him a lot of the questions about the stuff he posted. Clearly isn't best pleased with it.
Court case that he had with Sandy Hook, or any of the kids that felt like they had to relive trauma, or parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to all the lives that were lost during that tragic event. My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults, and it's true. So I wasn't identifying with anything of being a campaignist for Alex Jones or anything. I'm just there to post, and it's funny, and it's actually hilarious because out of all the things I posted that day, that was the one post that everyone chose to see. It just goes back to the way our world is and works. I'm not here to complain about it. I just exist.
And to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book.
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
Put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me doing, do you see me in front of
putting it out there,
the
people
title?
are going to say that you are
Yeah, I put
promoting.
it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
It's not
you put
stuff,
things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff
Great.
is
So
not
let's move on.
filled
So there's
with-
always this pushback. So basically, there's a big movement of people in the diaspora identifying as Hebrews and breaking down the islands and the experiences of people into tribes. And as time goes on, you find people tapping into this information and using it as identity. And I think there is a lot of European Jews are not best pleased when black people say this. And that's what you're seeing here. But they're also saying that within this documentary, there is stuff that they deem as anti-Semitic, meaning anti-European Jew.
Move on.
Anti-Semitic
Let's
stuff.
move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing
I'm
that.
another
You're
human
free to
being.
post
I can
what,
post whatever I want. So
post
say
what-
that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that by
I don't have to
post-
understand anything from you.
It's
Nothing.
not me.
Nothing.
By
It's no
posting
people that
what
you're
you
making
did,
up, bro. Move on.
But by posting
Move
what
on.
you
Next
did,
question. Next
anybody
question. Do
is
you guys
gonna
have any
look
more
at it,
questions
and
for
they're
me?
gonna say,
You guys have any more
does he have
questions? Because this is going to be a
anti-Semitic
clip.
beliefs?
This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
but you're not answering the question.
Oh, it's another answering your question. Oh my God, let's make another Instagram clip so we could be famous again. Next question.
That exchange with Nick Friedel.
All right, so now we're going to look at how the media have jumped on him after this tweet. He showed a tweet to this movie.
The other night after the game, and look, if he keeps making a big thing out of the word promotion, that is promotion. If on your social media you say, boom, here's a link to this, that tells me, hey, you should watch this. Correct? He's got 17 million Instagram followers, another 5 million or so on Twitter. You're all over social media. Do you ever put something out there, Shaq? It does not represent something that you feel?
I was probably one of the first guys on Twitter. And when I realized the power it had, I knew I had to be very responsible. Follower, platform, whatever you call it, I knew I had to be responsible. I try to make people happy. I try to make people smile. My formula has always been the same. 60% to make you laugh, 30% to inspire you, and 10% whatever I'm selling. You have to be aware of what you're doing. And you have to be aware that sometimes when you put stuff out, not everybody's gonna like it. Some people are conscious, some people are not. I could tell he's not conscious. He doesn't really care what's going on.
Not sure what he meant by conscious there, but okay.
But us, I know that the game that we used to love and we promote, it brings people together. And it hurts me sometimes when we have to sit up here to talk about stuff that divides the game. Now we got to answer for what this idiot has done.
Name calling?
I stand for equality of all people. I've always been like that. Don't matter what religion, no matter where you're from. I could say shalom, salam alaikum, ni hao, say bon, because that's how I was raised. So I don't really want to sit up here and answer questions for what he's done. If you're looking at me, it's my job to make people happy. I can't speak for him and, answer for what he's doing. It's obviously by his answer, the way he answered, he doesn't really care.
Chuck,
I think the NBA dropped the ball.
in what way?
I think he should have been suspended. I think Adam should have suspended him. First of all, Adam's Jewish. You can't take my $40 million and insult my religion. If you're going to insult me, you have the right, but I have the right to say, no, you're not going to take my $40 million and insult my religion. I think the NBA, they made a mistake. We have suspended people and fined people who have made homophobic slurs, and that was the right thing to do. I think if you insult the black community, you should be suspended or fined heavily, depending. I saw they did the same thing to the kid in Minnesota this year when he made the gay slur. I think you should get suspended or fined. I think him acknowledging the Alex Jones thing should have happened with that too, because that dude's crazy. And I can't believe that we ain't talking about that. We're talking about this idiot. And when you say, if I say, hey, I'm agreeing with this movie, this book or whatever, I'm agreeing with it. I'm not going to first of all, I don't do any social media, but when you're somebody as great as basketball like him, people going to listen to you, what you say. And there's some fringe people out there, but like I say, I blame the NBA. He should have been suspended.
And their conversations are continuing with the Brooklyn Nets,
It's too
with
late
the
now.
NBA, but they're also looking at, they're looking at how do we move forward at this so we don't
too
go
late
through
now.
this again. No, it's not too late to say
Ernie,
how do we prevent
Ernie,
this. It's not too late to do that. But I see what you're saying.
I want to say that the reason it's too late, the NBA is giving in to peer pressure. If one of our players do something, they have the right, the team or the league has to do something.
We're watching videos from a basketball player called Kyrie Irving, basketball player from the USA. And we're analyzing just this concept of what, incentivizes black people to publicly scorn each other. We see it quite a lot, especially with this particular case. Obviously, there's a different dynamic going on in the States. Black people very rarely own anything. They don't really own any media stuff. So the only way they can get on is to have the agenda of the dominant society, and you're seeing a bit of that now.
Immediately, if you just give in to peer pressure, that's the problem I have. This should have been handled already.
Kenny, let's get into this. Go ahead.
Well, firstly, if we're going to take what he says on a Twitter, we have to take everything he says. So if I'm going to take everything he says, I'm going to believe that he doesn't support or any of the views or promote the views of it. He said it right in my face. I have to accept that. So I will believe that. There are people in this world who've done, in their art, have done great things, that have said crazy things, that we still listen to their music, we buy their paintings, we do their things, and you might take an excerpt of that and say, I believe in this. Okay, so I'll take that as it may from Kyrie Irving. But I also believe that the reporter did have a right to ask the question.
Oh, sure.
That's it. So, and that's really where the argument began. You don't have a right to ask me that question. I do believe that, and based on this for Kyrie is that he has put himself as, he says, I'm the voice for some of the speechless when doing the COVID. So now he has transcended from basketball and became an activist politically. So you will ask him that question based on some things that you may read.
I'm going to throw a link out in the group as well. Feel free to jump in. We might have a short show this week. I'm feeling relatively tired. But if you want to jump in, we shall carry on. So now I'm going to play another video. Now that's one. Let's see another one.
Going to dig in.
Personally, Skip, this is Kyrie. This is who he is. You know he's going to dig in now because he's caught in backlash. Nick Friedel challenged him. Joe Tsai tweeted at him. Wish he'd have just put him into a room and had a conversation. Just because he tweets something, that doesn't mean you have to compound an issue by tweeting back at him. Just call him in. Hey, you're the owner. Just say, Kyrie, I'd like to talk to you about something that you posted. Look, Kyrie always wants you to think. He went to Duke. He wants you to think that he's a physicist and he's the smartest guy in the room and he's a conspiracy theorist. And he says, well, what if that didn't happen? I know, okay, I understand that it could have, but what if it didn't? Okay, even if it did happen, what if it didn't happen? What if who were actually responsible for it wasn't really responsible for it? See, that's how he does. And he's like, I just want to play devil's advocate. So me personally, Skip, I don't listen to anything Kyrie has to say. I think he's a phenomenal basketball player, but he just says a whole lot of stuff. And there are enough of his followers because he has a large enough platform. They're gonna say, Kyrie, you right. And the more people all he needs is one person to tell him that he's right, other than himself, and he's gonna keep it going. And so for me, this is, I ain't got no problem with freedom of speech. Freedom of speech in America does not mean you're free of consequences in America. So you can say whatever you want, you can spew whatever you want, but when the backlash and the consequences come, don't come, oh, cry me, Kanye. Oh, now all of a sudden, you're like, oh, they got a knee on my neck, and it reminds me I was like Emmett Till and yada, yada. I don't want to hear that. Because when you were saying what you were saying, it was without repercussion. I'm free, I'm this, I'm that. And then somebody had to remind him, you look a lot like Shannon Sharp. Remember when OJ said, OJ, I ain't black, I'm OJ. Kanye started to believe that too. Yep. I ain't black, I'm Kanye. And then he got reminded, oh, yes, you are. But Kyrie, I don't know what his end game is. He's always trying to I'm a free thinker. That was not free thoughts, Kanye. You reposted something. Now you said when Nick Friedel said, look, I understand what Alex Jones did. He made families relive a very tragic and horrifying moment.
We're analyzing to see when black people get what's the word? Upset to dominant society, Jewish society, how black people are used to get them back in line, to get them to apologize, to make them see the light or the dark, whatever.
In the light. He's a conspiracy theorist. I just like what he said 10 years ago. So you already said what the guy is. And now he's a proven liar. But it's that one thing that you like, you know what, it's that morsel over there. Now I get what he said right here. It's not true. Okay. Is he a member in these secret societies? Is Alex Jones a member of these secret societies that he can attest to? Is Kyrie Irving a member of these secret societies that he says exist? Just throwing stuff out there, Skip. It's just sad that this is what he's become. But Kyrie, I don't even know if you know who Craig Hodges is, but you better be careful. If you don't know who he is, might need to reach out to him and have a conversation. Right. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, because
remember what happened to Craig Hodges? The three-point contest guy?
Yes, I do.
And he had,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Let me see if I can skip through this. Anything else?
Okay. Calls venomously anti-Semitic. Okay. Venomously. And cites, Rolling Stone does, statements within the movie that, quote, many famous high-ranking Jews have admitted to worshiping Satan or Lucifer. Okay, that's where we start. And another description of the film on Amazon that Kyrie linked to says that the movie uncovers the true identity of the children of Israel by proving the true ethnicity of Abraham, Jacob, many others. Find out what Islam, Judaism, and Christianity have covered up for centuries in regards to the true biblical identity of the so-called Negro in this movie packed with tons of research. Okay, he's free, again, to believe all of the above.
Right.
Maybe there's some truth in that, but I don't know of it. Right. I'm just saying I
didn't see the movie and I haven't read the book.
Okay, I got you. Neither have I. I'm reciting what I'm reading.
Probably Kyrie hasn't either, but okay, go ahead.
You know what? You're probably right about that. But the problem is, this is going to offend so many people, especially the Jewish people, at the worst time, because Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, yesterday sponsored an ad that ran an NFL game.
All right, cool. Let's skip this. Go to
they
this.
had at home to
Go.
So
get him.
The guy took time off and didn't tell you he was going. Asking.
Is that cool? They were done with that one. There's one more. Anyone wants to jump and click on the link? Feel free.
With that.
Click on the link. Jump in. We're looking
Now,
at
after the game,
brother Kyrie Irving and the media. Not best pleased with him linking a DVD called "From Hebrews to Negro: Wake Up, Black America." I think it's called "Wake Up, Black America." Wake Up, Black America. There you go. Let's see what
Kyrie Irving was
we're observing black people who publicly go and try to scorn him, and who motivates them to do this.
asked to explain his latest brush with
Is this the best way to communicate?
controversy. Back on Thursday, he tweeted out a link to a movie with anti-Semitic views. The reaction from the Nets was swift. On Friday evening, releasing a statement that said in part they, quote, strongly condemn and have no tolerance for any form of hate speech. While Irving got right back on social media after that to say he didn't mean to, quote, disrespect anyone. He spoke in greater detail post-game Saturday.
In terms of the backlash or what people call it, I embrace all this of where the people of God in my life now. I'm being done.
Owner criticized him last night. The league putting out this statement. The NBA, quote, hate speech of any kind is unacceptable and runs counter to the NBA's values of equality, inclusion, and respect. We believe we all have a role to play in ensuring such words or ideas, including anti-Semitic ones, are challenged and refuted, and we will continue working with all members of the NBA community to ensure that.
Than what I'm saying, what I'm about to say, because my brothers are going to hold me accountable. I've often had this belief, and I don't say it much in all of my years of covering sports, but if you notice something about me, when it comes to professional athletes, especially the brothers, no matter what I have to say, is usually after you get your bag. Not before. Because I want brothers to get paid. And I ain't apologizing for that to nobody. The lone exception that can be argued against me on that point is when it came to Kyrie Irving. Because I believe you got to show up to work. But I'm going to tell y'all what I'm going to do, because we know what my position has been about Kyrie. It wasn't about no damn vaccination. It's about, 99% of the cats took it because they got, you got a chip, you got to go make that sacrifice. That was my position. Not about, you should have.
I haven't seen this, by the way, so I have no idea how long it takes for them to get to
whatever.
What we can do is, let me click to, I think where he apologizes.
Hindsight. Are you sorry for the hurt that your post?
So what we're analyzing here is he was adamant he didn't want to apologize, and obviously they fined him. I think he got 500,000. I think he's been banned as well. I think he's been banned. Some other stuff's happened, and now this is him after all that. I haven't really heard this. We'll see if this worked on him. I might say, is it Ivy? I think people get mad. I say Kyrie Ivy. It's not. Is it Ivy? Am I spelling it wrong or something? I don't know. Well, we'll see. I should know. This is like a very famous, Ivy or Ivy. Let's say what they say in here. Hold on.
I take my responsibility for posting that. Some things that were questionable in there, untrue. Like I said, and the first time you guys asked me when I was sitting on that stage, I don't believe everything that everybody posts.
The thing is, and this is another thing, when you get celebrities, musicians, actors, people in the spotlight to have content from certain groups that are trying to fix black people, regardless of their strategies, you want to school them how to interact with the public and how to utilize that information, because we've seen many times, especially when they go up against the white and Jewish community. There's many people, especially when they go mention these, Judaism and stuff. They understand the way you word things, they'll come at you. Obviously, this brother didn't word anything at all, but there needs to be a better education of how best to communicate ideas. Unfortunately, because they will try to keep on shutting you down.
It's a documentary, so taking my responsibility.
It seems like Adam Silver wanted to hear the word "I apologize," or in your mind, you said, "I didn't mean to cause any harm." Were you apologizing, or did you not apologize?
I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary.
What are the specific things in the documentary that you don't believe are true and that you don't believe represent your wrongs?
I think some of the criticism of the Jewish faith in the community, for sure. Some points made in there that were unfortunate.
Kyrie, are you surprised that you did hurt people?
I think it's IV. Doesn't look like a spelt right, but all
right. Surprised that I did hurt people?
Are you surprised that reaction and some of the things that you did hurt people?
Yeah, I think I can ask a better question. It's just, where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America? Where were you guys asking those same questions when I was a kid learning about the traumatic events of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here and why when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. I'm just proud of my heritage and what we've been through. And the fact that this has pinned me against the Jewish community. And I'm here answering questions of whether or not I'm sorry or not on something I didn't create. And it was something I shared. And I'm telling everybody I'm taking responsibility. Then that's where I sit. So, you know, these same questions that you guys ask, me dealing with it as being a melanated, pigmented person all around the world and dealing with racial biases against my skin color, demeaning me because of my religious beliefs, and I'm still sitting in the seat standing. So
I posted a link in the group, everyone. I haven't let me think it up, but yeah, I posted in the group. If you want to jump in, feel free to jump in.
I take my full responsibility.
I like how he's handling himself. Said some good stuff to him.
Again, I'll repeat it.
This is let's see if I get Kyrie IV, I believe I'm saying it right.
For posting something on my Instagram or Twitter that may have had some unfortunate falsehoods in it. But I also am a human being that's 30 years old, and I've been growing up in a country that's told me that I wasn't worth anything, and I came from a slave class, and I come from a people that are meant to be treated the way we get treated every day. So I'm not here to compare anyone's atrocities or tragic events that their families have dealt with generations of time. I'm just here to continue to expose things that our world continues to put in darkness. I'm a light. I'm a beacon of light. That's what I'm here to do. You guys ask me questions about basketball.
I was saying when some of these brothers and sisters get some information from the boss or some empowerment tropes, make sure you talk them through how to present it, that some people will chase them down and beat them down and try to school them. As excited as you might be, Black people are collectively despised, and many attempts will be made to minimize, undermine any kind of motivational speech you might have. Definitely don't want to be inclusive of other people when you make your statements, because that will be used to undermine Black progress and try to say it's divisive. Very challenging, but try to give these brothers and sisters some way of handling the media, because unfortunately, if sport athletes and musicians start seeing themselves get beat down constantly every time they try to have a conversation about something, they won't want to do it anymore.
Well, I give you my expert opinion. You guys ask me about other things, I give you my opinion, and it's met with whatever you believe the perception or the deception is. You guys investigate my life every day, and you justify it by serving your own purpose, which I honor. I would like the same respect in return, figuring out just like anyone else. So please keep that same energy when we're talking about anti-other things, because just because I post a documentary doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic, and doesn't mean that I'm automatically standing with everyone that is believing in that. So it's unfortunate timing that we're in, but I'm glad that I could stand on the truth, because I'm not afraid of these mics, these cameras. I used to be, looking everyone in the eye and telling them the truth, and I'm proud of who I am. Any label that you put on me, I'm able to dismiss because I studied. I know the Oxford Dictionary, you look it up, right? One of the biggest mistakes I had in being a kid was not knowing European or Western language until I started looking it up and understanding the definitions and why they say if you want to trick a
So you
black
find
person
this a lot with a lot of brothers. They learn something about the past or an idea. It's very empowering, and it really revs and motivates them up, and they want the world to know, and that's good. But unfortunately, some information you might be given might cause great confusion amongst certain people, or even just offense and stuff like this. And this is what you have to be aware of how to deliver that information, and that's the kind of skills we want to be giving some of these brothers, so they're not constantly, asked to explain their actions every 7 seconds and to not have an opinion.
book. I was wondering my whole life why they said that.
So he's describing trauma that many black people go through, as in like not having an identity, seeing yourself as inferior, seeing yourself as problematic, seeing yourself as just an enslaved person or a descendant of an enslaved person. And when someone comes to you with a different history or alternate history or a true history or any kind of history that changes that or gives that more of a context, it can be empowering. It can be sad and exciting at the same time. And then people might react a certain kind of way with it, right? So let's play.
Now I'm 30 years old and I know reading
Welcome, Brother Stanley, to the show.
is a superpower because it helps me understand where I'm going.
Hold on one sec.
Come from, like a tree with roots.
Kyrie, the documentary listed among falsehoods. It said the Holocaust didn't
Hey,
happen.
hopefully there's no echo.
Nope, no echo. Not
Cool.
more than no.
Well, you know me. I'm not gonna. I just think my father used to say, "A little knowledge is a dangerous thing," and maybe that's how I feel.
Right, in the sense of if a little knowledge is a dangerous versus a lot of knowledge, or just in general.
No, I just think both Kyrie and um, Kanye are just getting it wrong.
How would they get it right, in your opinion?
Read, knowing their history, really. I, and I have so many thoughts about this. I just don't think. I think, frankly, and I've been having this argument with several people that I know on Discord. Jews identify as white. It's hard for me to separate Jews are white in the U.S. You can separate, you can be very specific, but if you're gonna separate a certain group of white people out from the general population of white, then you open yourself up to, anti-waspism or, whatever the anti-ism is. White people tend to control power structures in America in that a certain segment of white people control Hollywood. Okay, they're white. White people control America. And I think that, to me, it's a very specific argument that you open yourself up to. I don't know. I just don't think it's a good argument on their part. And you open yourself up to anti-Semitism. I don't see the argument.
Well, I think what they're saying is that according to their knowledge, black people in the Americas are the descendants of Hebrews or Jews, and they were put into ships and from Africa and put into the Americas, and that's their understanding.
Well, even if you want to go there, West Africans are not Ethiopians generally. Most of slavery, the Atlantic slave trade, they weren't. Well, I think there were probably more Muslims, black folks who were of the Islamic faith. Um, that sort of argument, that's not East Coast Africa argument.
Yeah, your phone might be jumping, but while you fix it, welcome, Brother Kel, to the show.
Uh-oh.
How you doing, Brother Raven? How you doing, Brother Stanley? Brother
How
Raven,
you
I
doing,
didn't.
Kel? Haven't talked to you in a while. Good to hear from
Yeah,
you.
and you as well, brother. And you as well. Got in a bit late, Brother Raven. Must oh, yeah, big up to the Queen Rosa Parks as well. Big up to I didn't catch the other thing, brother. If you could fill me in.
Of course. So, as you know, a few weeks back, Kanye West made a comment about going DEFCON 3 or something like this on Jewish people. And this promptedly got every white person and Jewish person together to try to get him to apologize and fine him and limit him because of the statement. Not too long after that, a basketball player, I believe his name is Kyrie Ivy.
Right.
Ivy, but I think it's Ivy, but I might be saying it wrong. Kyrie
Sounds
Ivy.
like.
Yeah. He on his Twitter page he put a link to a DVD called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. And people wasn't best pleased with this. And it first started with them asking him to apologize and fining him and then banning him or whatever. But he played some videos and he seems to not necessarily he's obviously doesn't feel he's done anything wrong. He forwarded a link, he didn't say anything. But they're saying that this particular DVD shows anti-Semitic views, and the anti-Semitic views, I think what they're saying is it mentions that there's many prominent Jewish people who worship Satan or something like this. I think that's what they're saying is anti-Semitic. Not too sure. Very few have seen it, yeah. But he's explaining this in this video that when he was young, no one told him about, like he equated black with negativity and this kind of stuff, and now he's finding himself and all this kind of stuff. So we're watching the last bit of it. They're trying to get him to apologize for sharing this DVD. And the question is, what incentivized black people to publicly scorn each other? Because I've also showed videos of other radio host people. But I think there might be one guy who might explain. Let's check this guy. He might explain it all.
Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Upon hearing that Kyrie Irving paid the ADL $500K, all right, I was livid. I was done with Irving. I wrote him off. I was cursing him out.
So he said his name is Irving. So I don't know. Brother Stanley was saying his name is Irving. This guy says Irving. So I think that's what his name is.
I was done. I was like, this is some nonsense, because I knew that means nothing, right? That all that $500K is going to give you, it's just a little bit of extra time. As we can see, that's all it did. That $500K is symbolic, right? That's more of a financial bucking, okay? That's a financial breaking of this man. Once they got that, they still want the physical breaking of him, and that is to hear the words, I'm sorry, okay? They still want the apology. They want him to apologize, all right?
You want me to kiss your, that's right, apologize.
That's exactly what they want him to do. Now, what has happened is Irving has given them everything but that word, okay? Everything but, I'm sorry, I apologize. That's what he has given them. He's played it very diplomatically. Hey, I take full responsibility, all right? I can't be anti-Semitic if I know who I am.
Are you sorry for the hurt that your posts caused people?
I take my responsibility for posting that. Some things that were questionable in there, untrue. I guess the first time you guys asked me when I was sitting on that stage, I don't believe everything that everybody posts. It's a documentary. So I take my responsibility. I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
What does that
Kyrie,
mean?
last one.
Kyrie,
Alex,
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
Kyrie, did you?
Woo! They don't like that. These devils, they don't like that, bruh. These monsters, they do not like that. Please, they do not like that. Now, as we happen to have seen with Ye, right? Even when you give an apology, they don't even want that. You saw with Lex when he did the interview. Lex was like, "Yo, that's not good enough."
And that was a apology. That wasn't really an apology.
So understand, they want black men to scream Toby. Even when you do apologize, they didn't get 500K out of Ye, but honestly, didn't they? Didn't they? They took him down. They may not have gotten the donation willingly, okay, like they did with Irving. They took it. So you can see, if you don't give them what they want, they're gonna take it. Even when you give them an apology, if it's not up to their standards, they're gonna take it. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna take it. So what's happening right now, I want everyone to be very, very clear, is a turning point for the black community. Is a turning point, once again, for the black community. Because there's two options that are gonna happen, all right? Because they just suspended him. They suspended Irving without pay. Hell, in many cases, they don't even suspend some of these officers, these gang members with badges without pay, okay? But they suspended him without pay. Now, upon the suspension being up, one of two options is gonna happen. Either he's gonna break, okay? They're gonna buck break him, or he's gonna stand his ground, in which the only viable option I see is termination. And God, woo, I hope they terminate him. I hope they terminate him, because then that's then going to be up to the black community. Okay, that's going to be up to, when I mean the black community, I mean all these NBA players, all of them right now. You either saying, hey, one for all or all for none. That's what's going to happen. So I'm going to expect LeBron to stand up and be like, you know what? I'm not playing. And protest the firing of Irving, if that happens. Because, God, that would be a beautiful chess move for the NBA league, for them to fire him. Because I already know the commissioner was like, I'm not really happy with him not apologizing and everything. They want him to say Toby. Now, if he doesn't say Toby, everyone needs to be on code. Everyone needs to be on code and say deuces. If it gets that far, say deuces. Take an actual stand. Listen. Black men, all right, y'all don't know the power you have, especially entertainment. We are entertainment. When it comes to black people, we are entertainment. Do you understand? There is no entertainment without us. If you look in any entertainment, movie, sports, all right, music, we are entertainment. And if everyone would get on code just for a weekend, bruh, it doesn't even need to be for the whole year, for a weekend. Things will start to happen. Things will start to happen. If you boycott or you protest, all right, they can do it right now. You boycotting as far as the behavior, what's happening to Irving right now. Now, I also want people to understand they're going to be bringing out their Sambos. They're going to be bringing out the Sambos that we've already seen already. We have a bunch of all these black pundits and these black entertainers talking about he should apologize. Why isn't he apologizing? He should apologize. That was hurtful, okay? Because they call, hello? Yes. Code Jedi. That's correct. All right, thank you. That's exactly what's happening.
There are several things that we can call Kyrie Irving and we can say about Kyrie Irving. Open-mindedness is not one of those things. Hold on, Skip. Where's I'm sorry? I thought all apologies, something has to say, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, sir. I miss you like a hog miss flop.
Now we got to answer for what this idiot has done. I stand for equality of all people.
Like a baby, Miss Mammy's titty.
I think Adam should have suspended him. First of all, Adam's Jewish.
I miss you like I misses a rock in my shoe.
So either, as Dr. Claude Anderson said, either you unify and start your own, or you're always going to be in this position. You will be nothing more than just a glorified slave. That's all you will be. You may be making $1 million. You may be in the nice white neighborhoods. Okay, you may be driving the new car. You may be having all these women. But at the end of the day, what power do you have? I mean, if you look back, hell, even Ye said it. At the end of the day, you just, an N-word and that's what you are. Don't get too comfortable because many of these individuals have they've fallen for the illusion of the inclusion. And now they're starting to see, I'm not the boss. Okay, I can't move like that. I can't say what I want. I'm not free. And that's exactly right. And once you break yourself from that and we start to have some unity, that's when things will start to happen. That's when things will start to build. All right, when you will start to have wealth and power. That's black empowerment. And hopefully we see some unity. Hopefully we see some unity. All right, let Ye link up with Irving, and then link up with another person, and then build and grow and start things of their own for their own. Instead of always having to beg massa, instead of always having to ask, is it okay if I say this? If it's okay, I post this. This happened off of a tweet. Off of a tweet. No smoke for Amazon. You may have a few people pointing this out. What about Amazon? No smoke for Amazon. No smoke for Bezos. No smoke that it's still on there. All right. The film is still on Amazon. The smoke is going directly to who? This is a classic case of bully, right? The bully never attacks a person who's going to stand up for themselves. That's not what they're going to do. They always attack the easy target. I hope we start to see some of these mofos get on code. Hopefully. I expect the Sambos to do what the Sambos are going to do, right? Just like they got Sambos on the right, the Sambos on the left. I expect them to do what they're going to do. That's their job, right? That's the job of the house Negroes, to please the master, right? That's the job. They do what they have to do in order to stay in the house. I just hope there's more field Negroes than there are house Negroes. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe Lucas.
All right, so that's thanks to the I think I am amazing Lucas. I think is his big big broke down there. So I don't know if you follow that, Stanley.
Oh, I did.
So do you understand?
I was hoping I go first.
You want certainly can. Brother Kel will jump in when he's
That's the dumbest motherfucking video.
Brother. Remember we said.
I'm sorry, my bad. It is so. Well, let me put a context right quick. Name me the first Jewish president that the U.S. has had.
I'm unaware of any. Can you tell me?
Zero. I don't think the white people that should be dealt with are Jewish. That's my whole point. I think Kanye and Kyrie, they're going after very easy targets. When are they going to go after like the white people who actually control the country? And I mean the U.S. specifically.
Who's going after who? So who's who?
Well, no, you're not getting my point, and I'm sorry I'm not making it clear.
Well, Brother Stanley.
Well, let me finish my point.
Yeah.
I think that the Jewish people don't run the country. I think the WASPs, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, control the U.S. And I do not hear Kanye going after, or Kyrie, or this person on this video. They're going after soft targets. They're not going after the real problem. Not as far as I know. There was no Jewish founding father. If you go to the Confederacy, when the Confederacy, there was one Jewish person who was like Secretary of State. Wrong targets. Go after the problem, and Jewish people aren't the problem. They
Did you hear?
identify as white.
I understand. Did you hear them mention Jewish people like that in any of these things?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
Did you hear anyone in these videos mentioning Jewish people? I think they were talking about
Well,
black people being used to undermine the brother's opinion, and generally
okay. Well, let
power,
me.
white powerful people doing what they did. I don't think
Was
they mentioned Jewish people,
was
though.
Kyrie talking about wasps? Did Kanye mention a white person who wasn't Jewish?
Um,
The whole thing is they're going after Jews, sports teams. Adam Silver is the president of the NBA.
You're talking about the initial call. So I thought you were talking about the reply video and stuff. All right, cool. Yeah, brother Carl, did you say you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say to Brother Stanley. There's a very interesting book, Brother Stanley. Perhaps if you could read it. It's called The Secret Relationship Between the Blacks and the Jews. Have you heard of it?
Let's not go there. Do you think Kanye's read the book?
Well, the reason why I was asking you for is that what's very interesting is that 75% of the slave owners were the J people.
Bullshit.
Brother,
That is eight. I'm sorry.
I know it's hard, but if you can, that'd be very helpful.
Right.
No,
Can I finish, Brother Stanley? Am I allowed? Can I finish, Brother Stanley? Because
please do. My bad.
What's very interesting, brother, is that I also have the book, and this book is very well known, and it typifies that 75% of the slave owners
in the
were
American South were Jewish.
In the transatlantic, yeah. And what's very interesting, Brother Stanley. Oh, you know now. What's very interesting, Brother Stanley, is that one of the things that white supremacy does, brother, and they do it very well, is convince black people that they are divided in order for you to say, well, if they're divided, we're divided. So they can't have this strong, prominent code.
Mm-hmm.
And what you fail to realize, Brother Stanley, is that those who are in power can make a minority benefit from that power. And when you look at the J people,
well, can I
hold on, brother, if you can let me finish, brother.
Yes,
the
sir.
J people, brother, they are, as I said, brother, they're from Europe. You see, brother? So we can say, brother, there's different tribes of the Europeans. And we know, brother, the Berlin Conference, that the European tribes were looking after one another. So those Europeans that you mentioned, brother, they are definitely are defending, backing the J people. What are you going to say about that?
Two questions. So are you willing to say that the J people were responsible for slavery in the New World, North America and Brazil?
Well,
so you're essentially, well, hold on, let me finish now.
Yeah. Okay.
You're saying the J people were responsible for the whole enterprise. Is that your point?
What I was saying is in the book, brother, is that the U.S. Census 1830.
I asked you.
Hold
I
on,
don't
brother,
really care about the book. You read the book. I haven't. What is your point?
Brother Stanley.
Okay. Well, no. It's my time to talk.
Brother. You see, brother, we're on a show, brother.
After you read the book, what is your conclusion?
Brother Stanley. The conclusion is, brother, that we're on a show. that typifies
The
political
conclusion
science
is
and
you're
evidence.
mentioning a
So
book.
I'm giving you the
Who was
proof and evidence,
responsible
brother.
after you read the book?
Robert Stanley, can
Right.
you allow Kick out to answer you, and then you can respond?
Well, I thought I was going to get
yeah.
a second point because I
Yeah.
said there were two.
Well,
Well, but you did, and you asked me a question, bro. I'm giving you evidence, and then for some reason, brother,
Yes or no?
for some reason we're rugby tackling, and brother, it's very cold. I don't want to play rugby outside. Now, what I'm
All
saying
right.
is that the U.S. Census 1830, brother, majority of the black-owned slaves, 70%, they were the Jews, the J people. You see? Now, brother, the J people, because the J people are backed by the Anglo-Saxon people, that means, brother, that, and by the way, as much as you may believe it,
Well, no, hold on. Stick to your point.
I am sticking. So the J people are backed by the Anglo-Saxon people, and the black people, because they don't have no collective power amongst their people, that the Anglo-Saxon people will
Can I
say to
stop you
themselves,
right there then? Please.
well, I haven't finished what it says. That's the thing. You know, you're stopping me in
You
my
said
sentence.
the
Go on.
Anglo-Saxons are backing the J people.
Yeah.
That's where I want to. Let's put a pin in that point, and then please continue.
Right. Because for me, brother Stan, I like to refer to as Europeans, but you mentioned the Anglo-Saxon whites. You remember you said
Well,
that?
you mentioned Anglo-Saxons backing the J people, or did I just imagine hearing you say that?
Well, I did say that, but you also says
Okay,
that
I
we
want
shouldn't
you to continue
focus.
with that point. I'm focused.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, brother. Because there are different tribes under a unification of Europeans, right? Is that if you say anything about the J people and you don't have any collective power, the J people will go and tell those who are in power as it pertains to the Anglo-Saxons that we don't like these words being saying to us.
Got it.
So
Now
because you've given, hold on, brother, hold
Yes,
on.
sir. Yes, sir.
Because you have made us to be white and gave us those silver service types of jobs, and we've upgraded ourselves to own the media, to own the record labels, is that we ask you to allow us to destabilize these black people's funding. What are you gonna say about that?
They're all white. Anglo-Saxons, Jews. If the Anglo-Saxons were asked by the J people to let us do stuff, they're all white. So are we to let the Anglo-Saxons, who seem, in your opinion, to be puppet masters, in my humble opinion, they're all white? How am I wrong?
Well, this is there's contradiction in what you said there, because we look at it as collective.
Well,
But
I
you
don't care
hold
about
on,
we. Are they all white?
brother Stanley, because remember what you said in your dialogue. You know, you said, "Why is Yay and the rest of them going after the J people when they should be going after the Anglo-Saxon white people?" Do you remember when you said that?
And you just explained the
Right.
unity. The J
That's right.
people were absorbed, or the tools, or whatever the word you want to use, they were accepted as white.
That's right.
My point is they're all white.
Now this is very interesting,
So
brother Stanley.
why are we going after the J people when they're tools of the Anglo-Saxons? And your very valid point, which by the way I agree with, they're all white. Either they are Anglo-Saxon or honorary Anglo-Saxon. To me, And from my little corner in Georgia, they're all white. Why isn't Kanye going after the J people's masters?
Because
And
the
he
right.
practically kissed Anglo-Saxons
Right.
in an Oval Office.
hmm
Or did you miss that part?
No, I haven't missed it. But this is the thing when it comes to us as a people, is that we fail to realize it doesn't matter which tribe you go to, it all returns back to all of them. You see, when you generalize
I
all of
agree
them,
with that.
when
They're
you
all
generalize
white.
all of them
They
based
are
upon
all white.
political science without using emotions and feelings, you're more likely to be able to codify yourself instead of thinking because they are J people and these are Anglo-Saxon people, they must be different because we do believe in that they're very different.
Well, hold on. Now I'm confused. To
Mhm.
me, in my very unpolitically scienced brain, to me, they're all white.
Mhm.
How am I wrong there? White is white. J people or Anglo Saxon, they're all oppressors. Can
Mhm.
we agree on that?
Oh, most definitely, we do agree
Okay.
on that.
Well, then,
Right.
you know what? I just think it's dumb to
Mm.
focus on one segment of the Anglo Saxon masters. They're all
Mm.
white. It's more comfortable for me to think of them all as white. Oppressor is oppressor. I don't have to figure out or worry about who's employing whom. And I disagree with you, on a history point, but it's easier just to call them all white. Tell me how I'm wrong.
Well, you're not wrong in calling them all that, but at the
I
same
have
time,
to, I actually have to separate them.
no, brother. You see,
Oppressor is
I
oppressor.
think you've misunderstood. You've heard me for a very long time. I don't
True.
separate. I believe that they're all one collective unification of people. But
Right.
it's black people who are politically uneducated because they buy into the narrative of what non-Africans say, that we are in different identities. Oh, we're poor like how
Well,
you're
hold
poor.
on.
Hold
You're
on, brother.
moving on
Hold
ahead
on,
of my argument.
brother. Hold on, brother. I haven't finished, brother. Oh, we go through the same struggle. Oh, you were enslaved, we were enslaved. You see, but you fail to realize, brother, that they're all part of the same group. So political
Yeah, all
scientific
white people are
people,
white.
right? They understand that no, we're not going to divide a group of people who practice a collective power. We're going to generalize all of them, you see? And this is what we're referring to, is that the Ye and the rest of them, they find it more comfortable to go after one particular tribe, when in
Yeah,
truth,
because they will get their butts kicked by the
aha,
Anglo-Saxons.
and that's why we're codifying it that it would
No,
make sense for
that's
them to
why
go to,
it's more
right.
comfortable to go after a lower strata. How about go after all the white people? And in my opinion, it's the Anglo-Saxons that are really the puppet masters. Why aren't they going after the root of the problem? That is why I find them weak. That's my
Well,
point. And they're all white. Master, J people, doesn't matter. They're all white. Kanye can't go after the root of the problem because he's not empowered to do it. Correct? That's why I don't find him courageous. He's going after the soft targets. He's not going after the root. And I just do not find that sort of, if you are so powerful, if you are so smart, go after the root of the problem, not the minions.
Okay. Right. Okay. So for those joining now, We are focused on what incentivizes black people to publicly scorn each other. We're looking at the basketball player Kyrie Irving, who showed a link to
Irving. Kyrie Irving.
Is it?
With the G at the end.
I'm hearing different people saying different things, but if you're saying it's Irving, but
Dude, I Kyrie Irving.
yeah, that's what we said. Kyrie Irving, right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving. Yeah, that's what I've got written here. Yeah, so he posted on his Twitter DVD called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. And this offended Jewish people. We saw Jewish people offended through Kanye West, as well as Wiley and the guy with the turban and a few other guys.
Nick Cannon, yeah, Nick Cannon.
And there's been a few also in history, and usually they get them to have apologized. They shut down. One thing we should analyze is even though you can describe white people and Jewish people as within the same collective group, and they operate as tribes, but who have their different agendas, but they come together for a great agenda, whatever.
That's right.
What you do notice is the unity and the consistency of how they shut down. From my understanding, I don't necessarily think Jewish people are really that offended by anything most black people say at all.
That's right.
I think they have a narrative that they don't even want to chance, or they don't even want to chance a chance. So any kind, it's like an algorithm. Once something is said, even though they're not directly offended, they perceive that this will lead on to something else. They'll lead on to something else. So they shut it down right before it can even grow. That's why I think most black people are confused. Like, why are they going in so hard? I think a good study we're going to have to do as well is about the music industry. And obviously, Michael Jackson had a lot of power in the music industry. But even I think he wanted to make a metaphor of how when people mistreat him, they treat him like a Jewish person. I think so it was a metaphor because he understood that historically many people didn't like Jewish people for variable reasons. But I don't think they even wanted the metaphor because I don't think they wanted him to bring up anything to do with Jewish people at all because of how they want to operate, right? How that collective will operate. And they had to blank out that word and then remove it from all projects, whatever. Go on, Stan. You said you want to say something. Go ahead.
You said you got this from Twitter, right?
Go on from Twitter.
Okay, so you're a subscriber to Twitter?
They got what from Twitter? You talking about?
You specifically.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Kyrie Irving.
No.
What you talking
Are
about?
you a subscriber to Twitter?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with the owner of Twitter?
Yeah, Elon Musk. When you
Right. Are you familiar with Musk's history?
Okay. Yeah.
You're not?
What Tesla and all that kind of stuff? Yeah.
Oh dear. You need to do a deeper dive. He is like his father, I think specifically, or his parents own an emerald mine. Do you understand the mining history in Africa? So this dude is the richest man in the world. He owns Twitter, which you got your information from. And this dude literally is an heir, maybe great great grandson, who knows, from the De Beers family in Africa. Do you know De Beers in their history in Africa?
Yeah, they're from the Dutch brother, brother even
Oh
that
no
settled
no
in.
no no no! The blood diamonds, the diamond mines. So my point is, you know what? It's blood Twitter. If you really know your history, Elon Musk didn't build his business. He's like, his family is one of the colonial like De Beers. Are you
Right.
familiar with De Beers? So
Yes.
you get to quote me information off of Twitter by a dude who owns it, and the dude has a family that's possibly worse than like American founding fathers.
Why are you saying this again? Like, what is the context of what you're saying?
I think it's hypocritical.
Can you break that down for
You
people?
you get information from a guy who owns Twitter, and his family is one of the like colonizers of Africa.
Right. So let's break it
Cecil
down.
Rhodes
Yeah,
is
Cecil.
in his
Let's
family.
break it down.
So
'Cause
it's
you
okay with you? Is
understand.
that your point?
No, I think what you're doing is, and maybe it's
Well,
for entertainment.
no, it's exactly what I'm
Let's have a back
doing.
and forth. Hold on. Let's make it. Let's let listeners understand where we're going with this. So basically,
Okay.
let's break it down. We're covering the basketball player Kyrie Irving, who's on many channels across the states and England and social networks.
I see.
Hold on. And what they're saying is because he forwarded on a link using his Twitter to
Mhm.
a DVD that they are saying is anti-Semitic, because he did this and it's recorded.
Mhm.
They're trying to get him to apologize for this action because they
I see.
believe that he's sharing information or to an anti-Semitic DVD to which people can purchase and this kind of stuff. Right?
Got it.
So, but what you have to understand is you can name as many non-black people as possible in this conversation who own many things. From a black parent standpoint, it's black people having black people and black issues. So it will be
Mhm.
no secret or surprise that many non-black people practice anti-black racism or have done stuff that undermines black progress. That's why the
Can I
concept of
can I
amendment is
hop
black people
in?
helping black people and black issues. So you can then go, well, what about Jeff Bezos? How comes he's made this? How comes he's selling and profiting from his DVD and no one's shutting him down? And that would be
Switching topics.
okay.
My only response
Right, go ahead.
is I think it would help Black Betterment if they knew their history and their Twitter that they're getting information from.
Slightly different context what you're saying, but
Well, not really. I think history, knowing history is
Yeah.
Black Betterment.
Yeah, I
Now
agree.
tell me I'm wrong.
No, I can't disagree. But then
And
it's
deep history
of
at
course.
that.
But the thing is, you have to action the things you know, right? And you have to have contexts and you have to stay on topic because confusion is part of the problem, isn't it? Where people just talking for talking's sake. So it's like there has
Well,
to be
my
hold on.
thing is
No.
know your history, Black people.
Very good, very good. So one thing we're trying to show is we start the show with collectively black people have no friends, and we're using this these incidents to highlight that consistently, right? We also say that collectively black people are inadequate, meaning we struggle to work as a team. So we're looking at people who identify as white work as a team for their own best interests, and you've seen them being very successful. So the idea is to see this as case studies. Like, okay, this is how they organize. This is how they have an agenda, and they stick to the agenda. All right. And what we're trying to do is work out how do black people practice similar stuff. You see, how do we do it? So, do you have any suggestions of how black people do stick on code or have an agenda, stick to it, and do things that's in black people's collective best interests? Go ahead, brother Stan.
Oh, I was hoping that would be for Kale. I think the most powerful weapon that Black people, U.S., British, diaspora, is knowing history. So we know when we talk, like, oh boy, I checked my Twitter account. We know who the CEO of Twitter is, and you get to make decisions, but knowing the history is deep. Knowing who owns what is deep. It's context. And I thought, to me, I think for the diaspora, knowing context, where you live, the history of where you live, that's some deep stuff. You know where to go if you know the context. Now, it's the way I feel. It's not rap. It's not esoterica. It's knowing where you came from.
Okay. And with that information, how do you use that information to better Black people collectively?
You know what? Do I have to teach you this?
Potentially.
You might not go on Twitter and like read Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account.
Right.
I know that Jews are hardly the problem. I know that white people are the problem because I can go a next step up from Hollywood.
If
America is not Hollywood. America.
If what you say is correct, then white people are the problem, right? What are Black people to do?
Jews are just part of the problem.
No, the question has been asked. If white people are the problem, how do Black people progress? What's the strategy?
There is no strategy other than beat the white people at their game. Be smarter. Asians have done it.
How do you do it? Is there any example?
How do you beat white people at their game?
Okay, well,
is that really a question? Is this a U.S. question or a U.K. question?
Shall I list out a few things and you can say whether you agree with them? No?
Please do.
Okay, so how about Black people practice Black economics, where we trade with each other, we train each other, we build up industries dedicated to Black betterment? Do you reckon that might be a good start to help Black people progress?
Have you heard of Jared Ball?
Is that answer my question first of all? You answer the question.
It does. He's got a book called something like in America. It's a particularly American problem. Entrepreneurship is not power, political power.
Well, we're talking about Black people as a collective improving.
I don't think there's a. Well, you know me. I don't think there's a collective. I think Black people in the U.S. are not Black people in the UK.
Let's step back. Do you think that maybe Black people working as a collective are trying to collectivize their issues, like the Jewish people?
I do
done
not.
So you do not think that practicing that same unity process that Jewish people do is beneficial to Black people?
I'm not even sure it works for Jewish people.
Right.
There are plenty of Jewish people in the U.S. who aren't that enamored with Israel.
Okay. So
this is very unsynchronized, Brother Stanley. Very unsynchronized.
Well, come on, Kale. You know I'm unsynchronized.
We know this. But what I'm saying is, because what it is,
but I love you still.
We started talking about how Jewish people, as a small minority, who are part of a bigger minority.
I don't think they're a small minority.
Oh, no, there's 50 million Jews, so they are relatively small.
Where in the world?
In the world, yes, right. Yeah.
Who identify as Jewish? A lot of them don't.
No, they all identify either religiously as Jews.
That is so ridiculous.
Okay, well,
dude, how many? There are probably more than 50 million Jews in the world. Have you heard of secular Jews?
Even if there's twice as much or half as much,
let's do about 10 times as much.
What I'm saying is, when they come together to work on ideas,
they don't.
Well, I disagree, because Kanye West and these individuals, they
Kanye West is not a demographer. He has no clue what he's talking about.
Well, Brother Stanley, you said that the Jews are white people as well. And if they are white people,
at least
hold on, brother. Remember what you said?
Yes, sir.
You said that they're all white people. And we know, brother, that there's a small minority of white people on the planet.
Yes.
So if there's a small
It's not a
minority,
small minority.
there
And,
is a
you
small
know,
minority of white people on the planet, brother. So
I
that
see where
means
you're
they
going.
have, hold on, brother. That means they have a best interest of survival of, because we are a small amount, we must practice an unethical code of conduct
Mhm.
so we don't completely be wiped out. And they will go to
Okay.
extreme lengths to keep that code intact. So when Brother Raven's asking you, what do we do with solutions, brother?
Well,
And
no,
you're saying that, hold on, brother, and you're saying that they don't have no form of code and they're, you know, then brother, this is very unsynchronized, brother, because everyone practices group codification of economics, white and black people.
So there's 14.8.
oh, I don't get to answer.
There's full. Well, you can just why you just say just so you know that this is how much that's reported. 14.8 million.
In which country?
In all countries combined.
Okay, I know America. Can we talk about the U.S.?
Sure. If you want, I'll break that down for you. We send
Well,
a second.
no need. There's 60% of the U.S. population is white, and there's a Pew poll that I've out there somewhere. A vast majority of Jewish people identify as white. That's pretty much all I need.
Right. Okay.
So, in my opinion, and I have data to back it up, and I am not an expert outside of the US. I've never professed to be like a, world level demographer. In the US, Jewish people are white. So that's my point.
But
They
brother
are white.
Stanley,
White people are the problem.
but when you're talking about that, you're talking about an American experience. You do realize that the
Well, you do realize I
Anglo-Saxons.
live in
Hold on,
America,
brother,
right?
brother. You see, brother, you've got to let me slide in with words too, brother. You put in too many commas, and I'm the only one that should put a full stop on my sentence, right? Now, here's the thing, brother. The Anglo-Saxons, brother, they came from UK, Europe, and went to America. So unfortunately, brother, this is international. Hold on, brother. This is an international affairs. So we can speak on it because the same people who left the place where we're at are in America, brother. This is family affair.
Oh no, they sent the black sheep to America. They didn't send their best. They didn't send their best to Australia.
But there's Anglo-Saxons there, though, brother. We've established that, right?
Well, hell, there are Anglo-Saxons
in power.
everywhere.
Well, brother, but we just established that they're in power as well. Remember what you said about Kanye needs to go to them.
Absolutely.
So
And
therefore, brother,
they're
hold
the
on, brother.
problem.
If they are in power, right?
No,
me
they're the
personally,
problem.
brother, I believe that they're all unified together as a collective. But we're gonna go with your narrative. So if they're in power and they came from Europe, brother, then you cannot just speak on an American affair, bro. You have to speak on the UK affair. Yeah, because brother, the people who are controlling America, they're from Europe. You see, and we are in
now
Europe.
I definitely want to hear your narrative on this one.
You see, so when we're saying, brother, that there's a code of conduct that black
From
people need
Europe,
to use,
controlling America.
in order, where did it come from, brother? Because according to David Imhotep,
Well, no,
hold on, brother, hold on, brother. According to David Imhotep, a great Pan-African scholar, he mentions that the first Americans were Africans. You see? And we know that. Hold on, brother, hold on. And we know, hold on, brother, hold on,
easy to prove.
brother, hold on, brother. And we know in the 13th century, Ketha Musa.
not
Hold up, brother,
not North
brother.
America. It's
Brother.
more South America.
Brother,
I'm familiar.
brother. There's only one cow, and I'm sensing that there's two. Right now, we know in the 13th century that Ketha Musa, the older brother of Mansa Musa, settled
I know the history.
in America, brother. So there's different types of
South America, and they never found them. They sent like what 10,000.
But
it was South America,
right.
not North America.
But the point
I
is,
know the
brother,
history
but there's no evidence of
that they ever
Anglo-Saxons,
came back.
brother. There's no evidence of Anglo-Saxons there first. So these
Absolutely,
Anglo-Saxons,
I agree.
so they're all right. So they came from Europe, which is where me and Brother Raven
But
is,
not
and they
North
hold on,
America.
brother, hold on, and they came to America. So because of that, there now, brother, it is an
America
international internal affair. You see
disagree.
how?
Mansa Musa, South America, not
Brother, we're
North
talking about
America.
the
The
Anglo-Saxons,
currents
brother.
were
We're talking about the Anglo-Saxons. You said you disagree on that. The Anglo-Saxons, brother, they came from Europe. You said you
what?
disagree. Why?
Well, wait. What are we disagreeing on? I agree that the Anglo-Saxons came from Europe. How are
Okay.
we disagreeing?
So therefore, brother, because they came from Europe and they went to America and all these places, and they're
No,
collectively in
you need to
power.
be much more granular.
Well, you said
North
that they went to
America,
Australia.
not South. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now
Right.
we're talking like 2 or 3 centuries later.
Exactly. But
when you
right.
talk Mansa Musa, we're talking like 13th century, maybe
That's right.
14th century. That's not. You're like making century level leaps. I know. Hell, if you really want to think about it, Arabs knew how to sail. Arabs taught Europeans how to tack with the wind. Of course,
But
you
the
know
thing,
this.
but the thing is, brother Stanley, is
Fucking
that they have a
Europeans didn't
code,
know how to
brother.
sail
But whether they didn't know or
across
not,
an
they
ocean.
seem to have a code of conduct, right, of
Mm.
keeping Europeans in power in all things. So when the J
Yeah,
people,
it's called cannons.
no, it's called code of conduct of best
Oh,
interests
I don't
of
know
our
that I
people.
agree with that.
You see? So therefore, brother, because they have a code of conduct, black people need a code of conduct to
Bullshit.
limit. So why don't we need a code of conduct when everyone else has a code of conduct and they're for their best interests only, and we're
So
at the
what's
bottom?
the white code of conduct?
Brother Stanley, remember you're
Well,
in America.
no.
Hold on,
I
no, you're in
understand
America,
I'm an
brother.
American.
Brother, you're in America, and you
Am
said
I
that.
blind?
Well, if you want to say and ask them questions, it's entirely up to you. And I don't look at your hair like that, but I do know this, brother. In order to be in power,
My hair.
in all things, then that entity or that organization must have a code of conduct, and everyone must be participating in that type of power. So if they're participating in that power, black people, we need to participate in our type of power to protect African life, to gain resources, to make life better for black people. Why do you have a problem with that?
I think you're just acting like white people with codes of conduct.
What does that mean?
Are you gonna write a constitution as well?
So do you not think that discipline and plans and organizations might work in the best interest of black people?
I'm not absolutely sure that I even understand the concept. I don't think I don't.
Well, let's start again.
I'm
Hold on,
not.
bro.
I'm
So
not a
to get to a certain point,
Pan-Africanist.
No, that's fine. We got to a certain point where we said, black people working together economically. You said no.
I don't think that's possible.
Okay, so then what about constructive black man being constructive black woman? You reckon that's a good idea for black people? Not really.
Are you really gonna do this to me? I think that black people are free. I think ADOS is separate from black people, and I'm not sure that the diaspora is. I think black Americans are black Americans.
This
And
makes no sense.
there are.
This makes
He's
no
gonna
sense.
fuss.
This makes no sense because we've
Okay, well
established
that's
that
fine.
the Anglo-Saxons, right, left
No,
Europe.
black
Hold
people
on,
aren't
brother Stanley,
Anglo-Saxons.
brother. We've
It's
established
a
that the
different.
Anglo-Saxons
It's a
left Europe,
different way of
and
being.
yeah, but if they
Do
left
not
Europe and went
do
to
this
America,
Anglo-Saxon comparison. We're not the same. You know this.
what do you mean we're not the same, brother Stanley? Explain that to me.
Anglo-Saxons are not black people. That seems to be your argument.
No, it's not, brother, because my
Right?
argument
They
is,
have a code of conduct.
yes, they do.
No.
They do have a
Well,
code of conduct.
but
They do.
why would we have a code of conduct? That's literally like being white people.
No, it's not, brother. Because
Okay.
everything on the planet, hold
Explain
on,
how I'm wrong.
because everything on the planet has an understanding of a code of conduct. The lions have a code of conduct. The lion
We're not
tells hold
lions.
on, brother. The lion tells the lioness, right, that
Oh
in
my
order to
gosh.
keep the pride, the lion pride intact, you're gonna hunt and I'm gonna steer it. They have a code. This
So
is why the
black people
lioness.
are like
Bro,
lions?
hold on, brother, hold on. This is why the lioness participates in that unification of code. Everything on the planet has a code. The only people, brother, who goes
No.
against their hold on, brother. The only people who goes against their code are black people. And the reason why we do that, brother, because we're not serious about getting out of our oppression. We are happy to sit down and be divided and talk all these things about, well, if we have a code, we're going to act like the Europeans, the J people.
I think
They're
having a
small on the
code
planet.
is
This
like
makes no
being
sense, brother.
European.
This
So,
makes no sense,
Brother
brother.
Stanley, you don't necessarily value black love or black economics. Is that right?
What?
Are we trying
No. I
to? No.
certainly value. I don't put, in my opinion, black people don't have to do codes. They figure it out. They know who each other are, and they
Right,
just
right,
love each other.
right. So what you're
Now,
saying is
it may sound like weird, but why do we have to be? Why do we have to write stuff down?
Okay, so let me just talk for a bit, and you can jump in. So this is what we're trying to fix in the community, where this concept that no organization, no discipline, no rules, no code of conduct, and everything is going to be fix itself and work out. We haven't seen that being practiced by any other people group when they're progressing. We've seen them actually having particular plan. The topic of the show, when the basketball player Kyrie Irving and Kanye West made their comments, they didn't say, well, let's just see what happens. Let's just not collectivize. Let's not pull our resources together. Let's not use our media to correct what we find to be incorrect. They did the opposite. They worked as a collective to get these individuals to apologize to them, or they were going to economically shut them down, right? So what I'm saying is, this is what non-black people do consistently. The only time we have people who might feel that doing nothing, something will happen, unfortunately, is many people within the black community. And you're demonstrating this, right? So why do you think you're this way?
What do you think? Did Kanye marry a black woman? And why are we listening?
So you're absolutely correct.
No,
Yeah,
no, 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 no.
you're absolutely
Please
correct.
ask. Please answer the
point.
question.
Good point. So we're not looking at Kanye as a
Did
moral.
Kanye? Well,
No,
no.
the answer is no.
Is
Then
Kyrie is Kyrie married a black woman?
I believe so. Yes. But either way,
Are you sure?
yeah. You can just Google it, right? He's got.
You
But
didn't get his last name right.
no, it's just out there, right? But what I'm saying is this. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that because do you value black men marrying black women? Is that a value?
Of course. I value black men who marry the person they love.
But that's not what I said, is it?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, as a community collective idea, concept, code, do you think constructive black man or constructive black woman is a good idea to further?
I think codes are white.
Okay. So you think organization is white? Is that what you're saying?
You know what? Yeah.
Right.
I think if we have to codify who black people are, then we are being white.
Right. Okay. So you feel that all the challenges black people go through will
No. Take my statement the way I intended it. If we have to follow like codes, it's white. Who invented codes?
We
Who
follow the
invented codes?
We're following the code on you, aren't we, brother? The code is whenever you're talking to a person.
I think you are literally. If I have to follow a code, it is white.
There you go. So let's now teach the viewers who are listening of how we operate when we come to unsynchronization, right?
Well, you're how we operate.
Back and forth. Discipline. It's like this, right?
Discipline is white.
It's challenging. Yeah, everything that is structure and progression as well, of course. It's like this. We have two fundamental questions. What are your views on black love and what are your views on black economics? We use this whenever someone I'm sure. We use this whenever someone's constantly going in circles with the way they're speaking, and they're not solution based. They go down rabbit holes with
solution based.
Solution based. That's right.
So wide
far,
is that?
You're ticking many boxes, brother, as you do week to week, and we do thank you for it because you offer counterbalance for us to try to educate black people of what not to do and how to operate. We do thank you for that, right? Because we don't want the show to always just be back and forth of like agree. We want a disagreement, and we want to actually show that in the world there's unsynchronized black people, right?
Which world?
In the world we live in.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So how we teach the brothers and sisters is we say, look, if you ask any person who's unsynchronized, what are your views on black love? And what are your views on
don't think black people have to be synchronized.
Yeah, it really
that's white. Synchronizing black people is the essence of white.
What you're demonstrating is organization.
You're not getting my point, are you?
No, I'll get your point very clearly.
Synchronization of our love is white.
Very different. Now, like I said, if you can just demonstrate anything that you bring to the table when it comes to being constructive or when it comes to direction of black people to go in, you have to demonstrate that. And what you send to do is you send this same conversation.
I don't have to do anything. I have to do what you want me to do. How white is that?
I don't even know what that means anymore. I think.
I bet you don't.
Going down a rabbit hole.
Putting it in a white construct. You have to be one way or the other.
Right.
You have to be white or black. You have to fit
it's not white or black.
into your construct.
Right. So this show for people viewing is Black Betterment, right? And
very unsynchronized, brother.
Kale, you know I've never been synchronized.
We know this.
Black people should be free.
Right.
And they should be free of this BS.
Yeah, Stanley, we're going to give you a chance to express your unsynchronized views, but we'll ask that we have a back and forth because it isn't best for the people watching because they're not really learning as much, right? So if we can just show some kind of discipline as we taught, then we can further it, okay? So what we're trying to
So
demonstrate.
black people have to be disciplined.
Well,
How wide is that?
Okay, cool. So what we're showing people at home is the brothers displaying a very
A
unsynchronized
white way of looking at things.
How then the question is how can you
Is
how
it
can
British or
go
white?
into a
You see?
organization or industry that is dedicated to fixing black issues and cause maximum confusion? Now,
Mhm.
we will be doing case studies. We will do case studies on why this happens, right? But what I'm saying is, Brother Stanley isn't alone in this idea. There
No,
are
he's not.
many. And what we're going to try, we understand a high percentage of what motivates it. But only Brother Stanley will understand why he particularly does it, because we don't know, what he's gone through, what he hasn't gone through. But what we do know is how we can trigger many unsynchronized black people. And this for you to go out in the world when you try to have black people. Ask them these two questions: what are your views on black love, and what are your views on black?
You've asked me this
And what will happen?
question
What happens?
before.
They'll never value it. They'll say yes, and then they'll start talking about other people.
That's right.
Doing it.
That's right.
And this is the kryptonite to the unsynchronized black person. Let me
Yeah.
go out in the world, try it, and let me know how it works for you. And I hope we've demonstrated to unsynchronized brothers like Stanley that this is how we can cut straight to the time wasting rabbit holes and go straight to this person has no intention of black people progressing in any way. It's a game to them, you see, and that's how you find out. Now you know, Brother Stanley. Now you can have your say.
Oh, I'd much rather hear Kale express his views on codes.
Well, Brother Stanley, it's very
Black
interesting.
people should
Well, brother,
be.
you said that you want to hear my opinion, but the thing is,
I
brother,
do.
I don't do opinions, bro. I do facts, right? If non-African people have codes of conduct to make sure that their race are in charge in all things, brother, then in order to combat that, you need to have a code of conduct based upon principles that will orchestrate the minds mentally, physically, and the economical as well as the military progression of black people to protect themselves and to take back that power in order to bring justice and equality back to the planet. You, brother, seem to disagree with that, which is very interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
Because everything in life, you need to have some form of a code of conduct. When you go into the lift, Brother Stanley, right, there is a code of conduct that you do not evade or intrude anyone's comfort zone. You look straight and you act non-threatening, because this is a code of conduct because you're in a confined place.
Look,
now this code of conduct, hold on. This code of conduct, you will find it everywhere in the lift. So it's very interesting how we use that. When you go into a lift, there is a code of conduct of how you're supposed to conduct yourself when other people go into the lift. Say that again?
You heard me.
I didn't hear. I was talking and I heard voices.
Oh, I'm sorry. I interrupted you. My bad.
Yeah, very unsynchronized, by the way. So if there is,
you're not surprised.
If there is a code of conduct in the lift, and there's a code of conduct in the workplaces, and there's a code of conduct for a relationship to make that relationship prosper, then by necessity, black people who have been subjugated, oppressed, right, definitely need a code of conduct to remove that oppression in order to get the power back.
Now, is it my turn to respond?
When you're ready.
In the U.S., can't speak for the U.K., black people didn't fight for freedom, fight in the Civil War. We fought for freedom, not for codes of conduct. Freedom, of course, there are rules, societal rules, etc. But I would imagine Frederick Douglass didn't fight for a code of conduct.
What was he disciplined, Brother Stanley? So
But he had
when
a
they were
code of
fighting for
conduct.
freedom,
Have you ever read about Frederick Douglass?
was the
Yes,
final
I have.
freedom not codified, Brother Stanley?
No.
It was just random acts of randomness.
No, of course not.
Okay, so that's a code, isn't it? Where they organize for a particular purpose.
Was it a black code?
I suspect if they're fighting for black freedom,
I you suspect? I asked you a direct question. Was it a black code?
Yes,
it was.
Yes, it was.
So black people set the rules of how black people should act in the U.S.
Yes,
Awesome. Yep.
as it pertains to freedom. Yes, obtaining freedom.
Really?
That's
Okay.
right.
Well, now it makes more sense.
Of course.
It
Now you know.
does.
And
Yeah.
that's what we're saying. If that worked then, we can work it. We can try and work it now, right?
That's
If
right.
being
That's right.
organized and having a black agenda is a constructive thing for black people, then we can follow it now. Like I said, Stanley, what we're demonstrating is obviously you're pushing for that you don't have solutions, and we understand not everyone's gonna have solutions.
No, I
course
think
not.
the solution is for black people to be free to do as they choose.
Right. So once again, that is a non-solution.
No code.
Yeah.
Code
That's like saying
having
Let me give the
codified
analogy. Hold on.
behavior is robotic and
course, of
white.
But that's anarchism, though. That the anarchism believe, Brother Stanley. Yes, they
No.
do. They believe. Hold on, brother.
Anarchism is
No.
Time, please.
Brother. They believe that if we live in a
Anarchists
society where you're
believe
not
there
bound
are
by
no
certain,
rules.
brother.
Stanley, please listen.
But even the anarchism still goes by a code of conduct by not allowing communism, socialism to enter that formality. So the fact that you, brother, are disagreeing that there's no such thing as a code of conduct is an unsynchronized mindset in general. For example, the great Frederick Douglass, right? One of the things that we learned for his solution, which black people seem to not understand, in his autobiography. Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. He said that he was praying for 20 years to get out of enslavement. And when those 20 years went by, brother, he was still in there. But you know what he did, brother? He said, until I started to pray with my feet, you see, and he was able to escape. This is what a good solution to let black people know, that you rely on the creator for things that you cannot control, and the things you can do, you have to formulate it. And he definitely had a code of conduct to teach the black people this type of curriculum, that you have to put the work in order to get your liberation. Codes of conducts.
So you think that is the sum total of Frederick Douglass's life? How can I tell you Frederick Douglass was more complicated than that? And he certainly did not. He did what Frederick Douglass wanted to do. He didn't follow a code of conduct. He followed Frederick Douglass's code of conduct.
No, we didn't, brother. No, we didn't.
Oh dear. Then
that
I
makes
should
no sense.
shut up. So
That
Frederick
makes no
Douglass.
sense at all, brother.
Oh no. Frederick Douglass followed a code of conduct?
Frederick Douglass followed a liberation code of conduct for his people. You see, this is why, hold on, brother. This is why, right, at that time, when he was debating with Abraham Lincoln, he gave demands based upon
Abraham Lincoln.
He didn't do what?
Not directly.
Hold on, brother.
Show me that history book.
Brother, who was his rival at that time, brother?
Not Frederick. I'm sorry, not Abraham Lincoln.
So who was his rival then? Who was his rival?
Several black abolitionists.
No. Now, this is very interesting.
No. You're gonna tell me I don't know Frederick
No, you don't.
Douglass's history.
No, you don't, brother.
So
No, you don't.
you're gonna preach Frederick Douglass's biography. You know it
Brother.
better than I do.
You're in great error, brother.
I'm asking you a question. You know Frederick Douglass's biography better than
I
I
certainly do, brother. But you're in
Okay.
great error.
Well, then I will shut up and go on mute so you can tell me.
Brother,
Please go ahead.
You are in great error, brother. You're in
I'm
great
sure
error.
I am.
You are in great error, brother. And this is the thing, is that you want to quote
No.
hold on, brother. You want to quote African American history, and you don't understand the political science of what they was accomplishing to make it easy for you, brother, and black people in America to prosper. But you want to come on the channel, brother, and talk about there's no such thing as a code of conduct, and we're acting like white people. Why did they have a code of conduct? Liberation. The civil rights movement, brother, was based upon a code of conduct. The Black Panther Party was based upon a code of conduct.
So the Black
UNIA,
Panthers
code of conduct.
were
Hold on,
part
brother.
of the
They're
civil
all based on
rights
codes of
movement?
conduct. All based on code of conduct. But here you are, brother, talking
Here
that
I
you don't need a
am.
code of conduct. We just need to blow in the wind and do ourselves and make the wind blow to us our liberation. Brother, this is not solutions, brother.
So
This
the
is
Black
unsynchronization.
Panthers were part of the civil rights movement. Is that your contention?
What I said was that the civil rights
So
movement
what
had a
you
code of
said,
conduct.
no. Well, do the Black Panthers, but you're conflating, and it is disappointing at your lack of scholarship.
So, Brother Stanley, one thing I would say to the viewers listening is anytime Brother Stanley comes
And
on-
your lack of scholarship too,
hold on,
Rap. You dudes have not done the reading.
Okay,
It is obvious.
hold on. I'm just going to mute you for a bit, 4 seconds, brother.
Oh,
what you're gonna
please do.
one thing you'll find with people like Brother Stanley is you realize that there is actually no conclusion at all in anything, or any progression of betterment at all. It is rabbit hole conversations that we keep going down a rabbit hole, and it's a technical time wasted. So I don't want anyone to feel frustrated when they hear this. Be aware that we're aware of this, and we're unaware of the psychological sickness that many black people have when it comes to trying to find solutions and feeling I should take people down a rabbit hole, right? That's why you have to always start the conversations. What are your views on black love and black economics? And that will cause anxiety to raise to the roof, and that will identify people who you might have struggled to work with because unfortunately they've been flavored in the outside world, and the outside world is anti-black, you see, and that bleeds into black collectives and black people who don't ever see a value in trying to change things or being organized, having discipline, because they feel it's never going to work. So these are the two starting points you can use to identify this behavior. And hopefully with time and effort, as time goes by, they will see the error in their ways and try to be constructive. Now, we're at the last minute now, so we're going to say bye to everyone. Unless there's any questions in the audience and they want to jump in. If not, we're going to say bye. But we have to give thanks to Brother Stanley because he does give a counter narrative of what we're doing, and he does show.
It's not a counter narrative. It's like y'all don't, dude. Separate American history from whatever it is in Britain.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It is awfully. You guys are ahistorical.
Yeah.
Is a better word than just ignorant.
But Brother Stan, it's going to be very difficult because, as I said to you, the Anglo-Saxons left Europe and they're controlling America. So I said to you, it's an internal affair, a family affair. It's going to be difficult. You do understand that, don't you? We can't delete them like something on the computer. They actually are in America, which they came from Europe. Me and Brother Raven, we are in Europe. Hold on, brother. Me and Brother Raven were in Europe. So we know that those set of people came from Europe and they're in America, and we both
Who are-
agreed, brother, we both agreed with proof. David Imhotep says the first
We didn't prove
Americans were Africans, so we know that there were no Europeans who settled there first. They've
Yeah.
had to have gone there. So therefore,
Who were
brother,
the first-
the American. Hold
who
on,
were
brother.
the first
Hold on, brother.
enslavers from Africa?
The American affair is the Africans
We're
in the UK
talking
affair.
American.
The Australian affair
Who were
for the
the
Africans.
first
So we're all
enslavers?
inter-affair related.
Who were the first enslavers from Africa? Was it Britain?
It's Portugal. But
Who were the
anyway,
first Europeans? Yeah, I bet you're gonna hop off now. Who were the very first Europeans to enslave Africans from the West Coast?
yeah, Portugal. Okay, but we can cover this next
Good.
week.
At least you know that, but Kale didn't answer it.
I'm sure Kel knows these things.
I'm not sure Kale
Once
knows
again, I'm
this.
not too sure this is connected to anything we're saying, especially when it incentivize black people to publish screenshots.
Shuffle.
Something we have maybe we have seen today, maybe who knows. But we have to ask you what incentivizes you to do such actions. However, you have your last things. Everyone will say goodbye. So, Brother Stanley, you said your last goodbye. Brother Kel, would you like to say your last words?
Yeah, brother, synchronization is definitely has to be our agenda, and we have to keep pushing forward.
Synchronization is white.
And we have to one day, brother, eradicate unsynchronization in the best way we can. It's a disease, and we need to cure our people.
I'm glad you brought that up, and I hope everyone can see.
Synchronization sounds rather German.
So yeah, so just so the brothers see what we're doing.
Synchronization is German.
Remember what I said? If you just mention black clover, black economics, you will raise the roof and unsynchronized black people. They cannot cope with this word. It destroys them. And this is the secret weapon you have to identify unsynchronization. Thank you, brothers. Until next week. And sisters, you have a good one. And we'll see you then. Be constructive and have constructive dreams. There you go.
Big up, brother. Big up.
Big up. Big up.